What's up, plant lovers? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to give you a little tour of my plant room because I've done a bit of rearranging and kind of incorporated my new plants into the arrangement. So yeah, I thought I'd just give you a tour, so let's get stuck in. This is my Alocasia Zebrina, and these are the newest two leaves that have recently come out, and they are significantly bigger than the previous leaves, so I'm really happy that this plant is sizing up. It's looking nice and healthy. It is getting very thirsty though, and I wonder if it might need a repot because I can see roots coming out of the top and bottom, so yeah, I may have to check that soon. And coming over here, I have my Dieffenbachia, and this guy has been growing really well for me. This is definitely one of my favourite plants, and yeah, it doesn't really cause any trouble. It's growing really nicely. It likes a nice bright spot. Highly recommend that one. And over here is my Epipremnum pinnatum Marble Queen, and I really do love this plant. It's a fairly recent purchase. The variegation is gorgeous, and you can see here this reverted vine is kind of growing quicker than the variegated vines, which is interesting, but I quite like that. I chose this plant because I quite like the combination of the two. But yeah, this is a good alternative to, say, a Monstera albo. And over here I have the Syngonium Red Heart. This is one of the plants that I bought recently. The aphid situation is under control and this plant is back in population. And up here I've got my Aglaonema cutlass, and I am just absolutely obsessed with this plant at the moment. The variegation is gorgeous. It has a beautiful kind of silvery blue tinge. I'm not sure if it shows up on camera. Love that one. And this one here, my gorgeous pink Syngonium, I'm not actually sure of the variety. Maybe it's a Neon Robusta, I don't know, but I really like the tone of pink on this one. It's definitely the kind of pink that I've been looking for. So yeah, really happy to have that one. And then moving up to this shelf, I've got these three guys, and we have first the Pachira Aquatica, another recent purchase, and this one's growing really well so far. It seems really easy to care for so far, and yeah, I've recently repotted this one. And this is my little Chinese money plant. Again, this one's doing really good. Seems to be growing well for me. And yeah, it's just so cute, this one. Definitely one of my faves. And then over here is my variegated peace lily, and I recently moved this one because I think it was getting a bit too much sun now summer's come in. So I've moved it to a different spot, and it even has its first flower coming in. So this is the first time it's flowered since I've had it, so that's quite exciting. And then moving down, we have over here my Philodendron Silver Sword, and I will just zoom out for you to show you how big it's got. And I kind of have to have it on the floor now so I can be able to appreciate it, but this is the newest leaf here. This one hasn't hardened off yet. They kind of start off a light green, so I don't want to touch it too much. But you can see as the plant is growing new leaves, they are getting that kind of sword shape as they move up the plant. This is another one that's already hardened off. And yeah, this one has overgrown its pole now, but I'm just going to see how long I can leave it. And another interesting thing here is this is where I took a cutting, and the leaf that grew back after, it's a juvenile leaf, so that's worth noting if you're planning on propagating this plant. But yeah, absolutely stunning plant. Love the bluey colour of this one. It really does stand out against the green of the other plants. And moving over here, Let's start with this Syngonium white butterfly, and this is actually a propagation from my main plant, and this one's growing really well. I finally found something to fit in this weird shaped plant pot, and it's got a lovely new leaf coming in the center there. But yeah, this plant is just super easy to propagate and easy to take care of. I would definitely highly recommend it. And you do get different variegation too, which is interesting. And then over here is my current all-time favorite, the Alocasia dragon scale. I really love this plant. I've been watching all sorts of care tip videos about it, trying to make sure that I get it right for this plant, because I really want to make sure it survives. And as soon as I have some experience with it, I shall of course let you know my experience. But yeah, it's almost like an alien plant, like it's from another world. That's what I really love about it. Yeah, love it. And then nestled in here is a variegated weeping fig, another plant which really causes no trouble. This is super easy care, and love the variegation on it too. It's a twist on the normal weeping fig. It is kind of overgrowing its support stick now, but I kind of like it like that, so I'm not going to try and tie it up or anything. I'm just going to let it be wild and free and see what happens. And then up here, another of my big time favourites. I know it's only a pothos, this is a neon pothos, but I just absolutely love this plant. Not only is it growing super fast, and I mean it really is, it's also this beautiful colour, and I just love this colour. It just makes me so happy to look at it. It's so fresh. And yeah, this one is a super fast grower. So if you're on the lookout for one that grows quickly, I would highly recommend this one. As you can see, it's kind of really trailing down off the shelf now, and it looks lovely. And then trailing down just above it here, I have the standard pothos. And this one was actually a propagation from last year. That is growing nicely. We've got one vining part so far. The rest has a little catching up to do, but it's nice and healthy. And then over here is my Raven ZZ, and I recently moved this one to a higher light spot, and no sooner had I done that and it started some new growth points. So yeah, I definitely recommend putting your ZZ plant in brighter light, because even though they are marketed as low light plants, they do actually prefer bright indirect light and can handle a little bit of direct sun too. And coming up to the shelf, I have this beautiful Aglaonema White Joy, and it really is a joy, this one. No browning whatsoever, and it just really is a stunning plant. And then over here, I have my Philodendron Brazil, and I did actually have this one on a pole, and I literally just decided to take it off the pole because I don't know, I just got bored. I decided I wanted it to trail, so I took it off the pole, and so it's still adjusting to being a trailing plant, but yeah, I'm kind of glad I did that. I need more trailing plants, so I figured it was a good idea. And then if we move down, I've got my two big plants here on their poles, both overgrowing it. And first we're going to take a look at the Syngonium mottled, or Syngonium mojito. And this one is another fast grower. It is really insane, and look at the variegation on the leaves. It's so pretty. It's kind of weird as well, and that's why I like it. I like weird plants, but you can see here that the vines are overgrowing the top of the pole here, and so it has reached the top and it is overgrowing. So it shall be time for some propagation soon, I think. But I'm just leaving it a bit longer because this is one that I bought online, so I didn't want to stress it out too much just yet. But yeah, the really neat thing about this is as the leaves kind of harden off, they kind of have a texture to them. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but they're kind of textured, and I just find that really interesting. And every leaf is a surprise because you get different variegation. So yeah, this one also really high on my favourites list. I absolutely love it. And then over here next to it is my Monstera adansonii, and this one is also overgrowing its pole. You can see here at the top, it's vining right off the top and it is crying out to be propagated. I've already propagated this one already loads of times, so I'm going to have to do it again, but I really don't mind because I just love how fast growing this plant is. I love how it looks, and it really does remain top of my favourite list. It's one of those really common house plants, but even so, it's one of my favourites. You don't always need something rare or exotic for it to be a favourite. And yeah, I will definitely be taking a few more cuttings from this at some point. Or maybe I'll just let it go wild, I don't know. Either way, it's great to see it growing. And it does bring me a lot of joy, this one. And over here I have my Ficus Belize. This is a rubber plant, and this one is really cool. It has big glossy leaves and really cool variegation. It's kind of got shades of purple in there, and just look at this new leaf here. Isn't that stunning? It's just such an interesting plant to look at. I could gaze at it all day. And yeah, I just love this one. You can't beat a rubber plant. Every time I see a different variation, I have to have it. Absolutely love rubber plants. And then over here on my windowsill, this is another pothos, and this was another, no, it wasn't a propagation. This is the one that I chopped up because it had root rot. And yeah, the propagations were successful and I popped them all in the pot and they're doing great. And over here we have a Scindapsus pictus trebi, another new plant that I recently repotted. It's now out of quarantine and it's looking lovely. Hasn't really started growing yet, but it has just been repotted. So over here, this is a Tradescantia, lovely purple colour. I've popped it in a pink pot because I think purple and pink, they go perfectly together, don't they? And this one can get quite big. It will eventually trail. And over here, I have a Syngonium albo. Really lovely variegation on this one. It's doing pretty well. And next to it is this little not Syngonium, sorry, begonia arrangement. Kind of nestled in against this Monstera siltepecana that is going absolutely nuts right now. As you can see, this is another really fast grower. This one is getting some really long vines now. And it's got that stunning silvery colour too. Yeah, look how long those vines are. Really cool. It's fun to watch this one grow because it's one of my fastest growing plants. And then just kind of nestled in behind it there, you can see the whale fin snake plant. Just peeking out. And next to it is the fernwood snake plant. Really cool one. Got some good markings on it. Very weird. And behind there, another snake plant. This is the moonshine. And this one's also growing really well. It's going to need a repot soon, so I shall do that on another video. And then coming over here, we have a Syngonium neon robusta. Please excuse the bright light in this part. Yeah, that one's doing okay there. Still a baby at the moment, but let's give it time. And then we have another Syngonium albo here. This is the main plant. I did lose quite a lot of leaves from this one, but it does seem to be growing new ones, so fingers crossed. And then over here in my cart, I kind of just use this as an overflow when I'm tidying up and things. But at the moment, I have my Alocasia poly in there. And this one is actually growing its first new leaf since I've had it. And let me tell you, I've had this one a while. So that's an event. Looking forward to seeing that come out. And then Over here, I've got a couple of philodendrons. We've got Philodendron Ring of Fire, and this one is actually putting out its first new leaf in my care, and it's really cool. It looks like it's kind of pinky when it first comes out, and then it kind of goes to this lighter green splotches. And then over here, he's got his little brother there, the Prince of Orange. Lovely orange leaves. I love how they come in orange and then go to green. And then over here is a little pot with a few different syngoniums in, including a milk confetti. Thanks so much for watching today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you found value in this video today. And until next time, take care of your plants and take care of yourself.